A little over 3 years ago today, my life changed forever. And this is because my brother and my father introduced me to the show called Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is the spectacular adaptation of George R.R. Martin's novels based on the fight for control over a fantasy realm called Westeros. Now, following its 6th season, I can conclude that this is the best show ever. I am an avid Netflix watcher and series binger, and I can say without a doubt, during its season, there's no other show that makes me as happy week after week as Game of Thrones. And this is not just my opinion, critics will say the same, and you can check on reputable sources such as IMDb that this show has gotten the highest rated show out there. Game of Thrones transcends all expectations of a good show, and I strongly feel that everybody should watch it. Each episode has movie-like quality. The producers are allowed a huge budget for each episode, so this allows them to pay for the costumes, acting, sets, and the CGI needed for this show. And the CGI is actually really important because it's a fantasy-based show. There's a lot of stuff not in real life, such as dragons. And it needs to look real for it to be a movie quality. And this is a picture, not a very good picture, but a picture of the dragon. I'll pass this around. Looks real life. Looks more real than any of us. That's a real dragon right there. Also, the scenery is amazing. The show is shot in Northern Ireland and Scotland, and some scenes are shot in Europe and Africa as well. So it's got crazy backdrops and landscapes that you would see in blockbuster movies. There's a huge talented cast. The cast is frequently changing because people are either dying off or new people are being introduced. But when characters are introduced, they're well developed, and they always hire a talented cast with very good. They hire very good actors. Both critics and myself would agree that the acting is of a very high quality. The show does have resources to make it movie-like and make it very aesthetically pleasing, but a great show needs more than just that. Game of Thrones always keeps you wanting more. It's always full of surprises. Even if you read the books, it keeps you surprised because currently the show is further than the books are now because George R.R. Martin hasn't come out with the last book yet. So the show's further than the books are. So it's still a lot of surprises for everybody. For example, the show is not afraid to build up characters for seasons and then unexpectedly just kill them off. And while this might sound like a bad thing, it's actually a good thing because when these crucial, unexpected scenes happen, they play with your emotions and they just fuel your addiction to keep watching the show because you never know what's going to happen. The show follows numerous different storylines. So each episode, you'll see like 10 to 20 minutes of each storyline. Some episodes you won't see any time of a storyline. So you really never get tired of the show like you do other shows, and you always want more. When people hear that it's a show based on fantasy and medieval times with dragons and magic, they decide it's not for them. I've never been huge on fantasy either, but I still watch the show and I love it because I like a good story. It's got something for everybody. Politics plays a huge role in this show. Different sides are always constantly fighting for control and power and wealth in this fantasy realm. But the rules and the time and the setting is very different from any other show that you have. So the outcomes and the possibilities that you have in the show are way different from any other that you'll see. It gets a bad rap amongst the female demographic because of violence. And while I won't lie, it's definitely violent. There's some violent parts, but it makes it awesome and spectacular scenes because of it. But it also has love and romance and drama and sex appeal and all that stuff that appeals to a larger audience. So I feel that the female viewers should really give it more of a chance. I know a few female viewers do watch it, only a couple, and they like it. So I feel like if more gave it a chance, they'd really like it. Many people seek out shows with great writing, and lucky for those people, this show has great writing. It's full of smart, witty, and unique characters. And there's a lot of different dialogues, and a few languages were even created by the author. So there's a lot to work with, and it's just gripping, and you'll love it. The only problem with the show is that there's not more episodes to watch. This HBO series deserves all the positive feedback that it's gotten, and while there's many people out there that are skeptical to try this fantasy-based show, I really feel like everyone should give it a chance. Everybody needs to start watching, and I strongly encourage everyone to tune in next summer for Season 7. Thank you very much.